I'm Corey.
And I'm Mike.
And we are two adults who are moving from South Texas to Orlando, Florida. We have got about 40 days to go.
40 days.
And
it's
we are
almost here.
very, very excited. So this past weekend, we spent a lot of time with some family and friends, and it seemed like they were all asking the same question over and over and over again.
And what was that question?
That was, where are you guys going to live?
The first decision was, are we going to buy or rent? And we definitely decided we were going to rent for a bunch of reasons. We've had the joys of home ownership.
Yes.
And so renting is going to be kind of a nice little change for us. And then it was like, became overwhelming, like, where are we going to live? Where are we going to rent? Are we going to rent a home a little further away? Are we going to rent an apartment?
Right. And so we were looking at homes and we were looking at apartments because even though it's just the two of us, we know that our kids and we have family and friends that will come and visit us, we hope.
Yes.
But ultimately, most of the time, it's just going to be the two of us. So I think
Right.
we settled pretty quickly on an apartment or something smaller that where we would be comfortable.
Right, yeah.
So we started looking by just getting online and we just kind of started mapping out things that were up for rent. And so you can see pretty quickly if you either just go by like, I think it's apartments.com and websites like that, it'll map out all the different places that are available for rent.
Right. And one of the things we looked at also was costs. Like, what does it cost, to rent an apartment versus a house? How is it with our budget? Was it going to be a lot different? Is it much more expensive when we're used to living here in South Texas? And the answer was it was going to be about the same, which was a surprise for me. It was really nice to be able to rent something versus what we had here as a mortgage and utilities and all that fun stuff.
Right. Speaking about that, so we did look at some of that. So we said, if we end up renting an apartment or a home, what is the cost as far as the deposit that we were going to have to leave and what kind of extra fees? And we pretty quickly heard about the concierge.
Yes.
Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it was like trash concierge service in some places. And that was like an extra fee that you had to pay, but you couldn't say no to that. You can't say, no, I'll take my trash out myself.
Right.
That was like kind of built in. So it was there was like all these hidden little extra fees that are there in certain places, in certain apartments. We also were looking at 55 and over communities, weren't we?
Yeah, so we looked at quite a few of those. And there's so many like amenities that you have, and there's the monthly payment into the HOA, I believe is right. And so there's that. So everybody's gonna have their fees, which is all okay.
But also it was a little bit nerve-wracking for me because we would see things and we'd say, okay, it's less expensive to live a little further out. I mean, our goal is to try to go to the parks as much as possible, hopefully every single day. And by the parks, we mean the Disney parks. We do want to travel to the other ones, but that's really our main focus is Disney. So we said, okay, there are some things that are close to Disney and they're a little more expensive than living further out. But then I was kind of trying to do the math of like, okay, we're going to have to get a toll tag, or how much is the tolls going to be? Because if we're going to be coming in daily or maybe twice daily, then that's an extra expense as well. So the numbers plus then you see these great numbers that are lower in cost and you thought, oh, that sounds like a great idea. But I just didn't know, is that a safe area in town? Is it not? Is it, maybe it is safe, but it's really loud there, or it was a little bit, I started to get a little nervous.
Right.
Thinking about signing a year's lease when you didn't know what it was going to be like.
So we did do a video a few months ago, I guess 3, 4, 5 months ago, roughly. And somebody posted a comment.
Thank you, Kelly.
on there, which was really super smart and helpful.
Right. So somebody chimed in, and Kelly told us that she and her husband are about our same age, and they moved from Maine.
Yeah.
And what they did was they did end up buying a house, but what they did for 2 months before that was they stayed in an Airbnb.
Yes.
And I was like, maybe.
That's awesome.
Well, I said, that sounds like better because you can actually rent, or what we're going to do. So big drum roll, what we decided was to take her advice. And we started looking at Airbnbs and we said, okay, we can rent by the month. And if we rent something for, let's say 3 months, which is what we're going to do, then it'll give us more time.
Right.
So that's really what made me feel much more calm, because we had made a plan to go to Orlando in January just to look at apartments.
Right.
So we had already made plans for the trip, and said, okay, by then I'm going to have a list of apartments we're going to go see, and then we're going to make a decision. But this took the pressure off, because by January I had already chosen
Yes.
an Airbnb.
Yes, and it happened to be at a
55 and over community.
which is only about 17 minutes away from Disney World there, which was really nice. And so what we got to do the first day that we got there,
So we did go in January.
Yes.
So we did go ahead and go do
and
that
we
trip.
drove through,
So
and it was really awesome. You see a lot of people walking around. They have two swimming pools, I believe. They have a 9 holes golf course there, pickleball.
They have a community center. They
so
have
it's
a
really
lot of
awesome.
people were riding around on their golf
Golf
carts
carts.
that we got to see. There's a gated community. So then there was Stephanie was at the gate, remember?
Yes.
And so we had to check in with her, because they allowed us to go and visit the place, and that's something that they said that people do go and visit and see, and to check it out.
And so we went ahead and booked that for the summer,
Right.
to give us plenty of time to find where we're going to actually land and live for good. But when we were there, one of the cool things is everybody's been very sweet and helpful. The community's awesome.
Right.
The Disney World community is amazing.
Yeah.
Because from Kelly, then when we checked into our hotel,
We met Sam.
he told us about where he's living.
I noticed his name tag, and it said that he was from the area, and it did name one of the communities that we know of that's there. And so I said, oh, we're going to move. And so, any advice that you can give us? And he started giving us a lot of advice. And then we met Justin, and we asked him in the parks. And so we said, we're moving, and people, it was neat was that when we told people we were moving, they got excited for us.
Yeah.
And so
they started telling us everything.
Right.
This is great. You're going to have so much fun with this. And it's, just fun.
Really helpful.
And so we've connected, Justin, we get to watch all his posts and everything.
Yeah,
he works
we've been
there.
watching him on
He looks
Instagram
amazing,
a
by the
lot.
way. He
Yeah.
looks amazing.
Keep going, Justin. So then, so we were able to meet some people and get some advice. And so we're hoping to get more advice over the summer when we're there. And and maybe we'll like that community, because the good thing is when we went in January and we drove around, we saw that there were quite a few places that were there that are either for rent or even for sale. So we might, if we really like it there, we might end up doing something like that.
Yes.
But we're looking forward to it. I'm excited about making that next step and trying that for the summer.
Yep.
The good thing about an Airbnb, as opposed to also, I'm going to jump in with the apartment, is that we didn't have to leave a deposit. You don't have to set up electricity. We don't have to go and, get the extra insurances or whatever, all the unknown things. So it's really nice and the Airbnb, even though it's costly when you might go for a weekend or something, if you do it by the month, it is more
Well, and
discount.
each month it starts to get a little lower.
Yes.
Yeah,
More economical.
Yeah.
Based on, because the summertime is a busy time for that for the area. So we're excited about that. I'm hoping we're going to really like it there.
Yes. Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
And the good thing is we don't have to take dishes. We don't have to take couches. We don't have to take beds. We don't have to take
Fully
anything.
furnished. It's really
Tennis
cool.
shoes, ready to travel.
Clothes, my music
At least-
stuff, and we're good.
At least for a few months,
Yeah.
right? Until
Yeah.
we make a bigger thing. So, I guess if you guys are watching and you're listening, if you've made the move like Kelly and her husband did, and you have some advice for us, do you want to chime in the comments? Please do.
Yes.
If you say, oh gosh, you guys, you need to look at this area, or think about this, or this is we stayed here and it was great, then we'd love to hear.
Yeah,
about
help
that
us
as
out.
well.
Let's connect. Let's help us to learn about what you've gone through, the things that you lived through, and these are the areas, great areas for us. Anything you can think of that will help us in our transition. I mean, there's a lot of things we're working on, all the retirement papers that I'm doing and everything to get ready for that day also. 40 days.
Yay!
40 days.
So we leave Texas in 40 days, and you're going to be able to see us drive the journey, which is going to take us 2 days to get there. And so we'll be making that trek in 40 days. And then you'll be able to see. And then you'll be able to see our new beautiful abode, summer home.
Yes.
So thank you guys that have already helped us, and please, if you have suggestions, send them our way.
All right. Until next
Next time, have a magical
Magical
week.
Bye.
Bye.